Hello and welcome to coverage of Grand Prix Providence. I'm Marshall Sutcliffe in the booth with Randy Buehler, and we're underway here in round 5. And Randy, Reed Duke versus Owen Turtenwald.
Doesn't get
Oath
much
fight.
better than this.
We've got two sworn oath brothers here, and they find themselves on opposite ends of the table, and they are ready to rumble. So off we go here with a Thoughtseize from Reed Duke, who is playing Obzon mid-range, a deck that you see Owen helping out Reed by saying, would you like to put the Death Raptor? Not a common target for the Thoughtseize.
If I'm Reed here, by the way,
yeah,
I try to do him dirty. I take the Wayfinder.
Oh, yeah?
Owen's only got 2 land in his draw.
Oh, interesting.
I mean...
Now look at Owen's deck here, too. He's playing Sultai Control. We haven't seen this in quite a while in Standard.
No, Sultai's been floating around on the edges, but this is about as high profile a showing for this deck as we've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reed went with my plan. Or I anticipated Reed's, as you prefer. That Sultai that Wayfinder was pretty important to Owen's draw there. He draws. That did not look like
that
a
was
land.
A disdainful stroke, I think.
Flash of color.
Yeah, drawing a blue card off the top. Not the name of the game for Owen Turtenwald there.
No blue mana.
Now, can Reed Duke capitalize on this is a question, because sometimes you see these early plays where they'll Thoughtseize away at Mana Source, which can temporarily put these decks behind, but usually they find a way out of it, and the question is, how do you capitalize on it? So, you know, what is Reed looking to do here? Yeah,
all he's done so far is shove 2 cards to the bottom with Temples.
Maybe he's just wanted to buy himself some time.
Owen finds his 3rd land, still no blue mana, but it does allow him to get on the front foot with Deathmist Raptor. Yeah, Reed not playing the fastest deck in the history of the world. Kind of the mid-range version of the Obzon decks. I'm not even sure what the difference in the creature set is versus the true control version. He's got full Megamorph, Den Protectors, and...
Does he have Elspeths in the main deck?
He does have Elspeths. Wait, does he not have... He does not have Deathmist Raptors. my apologies. It's not the Megamorph version.
So he's running the Den Protectors for value, but
correct,
not comboing off.
Right. So it's basically along the lines of what Lucas Ciao played at Grand Prix Toronto.
Okay. All right. Well, Owen Turtenwald found a pretty good one here. Courser of Crewfix to cast off of his current mana base. Again, no blue mana yet for him, although I think he's got an island in his hand now. Doesn't find a land on the top of his library instead of Thoughtseize, but there it is, island. So, like we mentioned earlier, you know, it did set him back a little bit, but Owen has been able, thanks to that untapped green mana source, been able to play the Deathmist Raptor into the Courser, and he even found an island in between. So Reed has one of those Den Protectors face down here with the Thoughtseize in his graveyard. 4 lands so far, but he hasn't hit his land drop for the turn yet either.
Pretty interesting number next to Reed's name up at the top. There are no parentheses.
Yeah.
No ranking.
Yeah,
he was 25th 2 weeks ago. He slipped out of the top 25 rankings this week. First time since the rankings were introduced that Reed has not been among them. He's been scuffling a little bit this season. Hasn't put together quite the campaign that he normally has.
Is he going to make platinum?
He's got work to do. That's kind of my point. He is not currently on track. I mean, a good finish at the Pro Tour would do it, but he's at the point right now where he needs a legitimately good finish at the Pro Tour to get to platinum, or he needs a couple of GP results in the run-up toward the Pro Tour. So that's what he's here for.
Yeah, well, he's brought Obzon mid-range. He's flipped up his Den Protector here, recast Thoughtseize, and he's got a Bioblight to take out a Deathmist Raptor here as well. He's going to use that in response.
Yeah, so
just
Thoughtseize
effectively blank the Thoughtseize here.
Not normally a great idea to kill a Deathmist Raptor versus a deck that you assume has a bunch of ways to get it back by flipping morphs. But to blank a Thoughtseize, easy play.
Now, of course, these two players, part of the Peach Garden Oath. Huey Jensen is actually in Copenhagen this weekend, so he's not present.
Good friends.
Even though this is a, almost a hometown GP for.
That's
for
true.
He's from this area.
Originally.
Originally. Now he lives in Las Vegas with Owen. Reed, though, is from
the
Northeast as well.
The TO for this event, Tom Shea, his local game store, the original store that he had, that's where Huey cut his teeth.
Yes, that's true.
TJ's Collectibles was Huey's store when he was, a teenager.
Yeah. Yeah, hometown hero for sure. But he's going to have to watch on the stream as his two teammates duke it out here. And duke it out they are. They are rumbling here. Both of them, well, one of them's at 10 now, but 10 to 9 here. They've got a real fight on their hands.
Yeah, the evasive ability with the Den Protector plus the Siege Rhino looming. Feels like Reed is in position to win this game in a couple of turns.
Sure does, and Owen's going to play a Satyr Wayfinder to get that Bioblade off the top of his library. He finds his choice of lands here, too.
Bioblade's not awful versus that Den Protector right here.
It is true.
But couldn't necessarily wait for it. Well, he'll draw Murderous Cut next turn. See, one of the nice synergies that the Sultai controlled deck has is Wayfinder to fuel dig through time.
Totally. Reload your entire hand. It works on Murderous Cut as well. They usually skimp on those a little, right? Don't usually just play 1 or 2.
Owen is on 4 copies of Dig Through Time.
Yeah. Of Dig, but what about Murderous Cut?
1 cut.
Yeah, just the 1. Oops. I think Owen just accidentally showed him a Disdainful Stroke there on the table.
Owen also came up with the second blue mana finally. That was the thing the Wayfinder gave him. He has a dig in his hand, can't cast it yet.
He's also got a Cruxifate in his hand, which he could cast, but has decided not to.
Now, has that Crux been there? Reed knows about that Crux, right?
I believe so.
Between the early Thoughtseize and the Courser that's been in play, there's not... Reed might know everything.
Yeah.
A little bit of a tricky spot, then, for Reed. He's got the Rhino. Doesn't necessarily want to commit it to the board, though, because his Den Protector is going to demand a removal spell all by its own. Yeah, and you see Reed just ships the turn rather than cast Siege Rhino.
Owen finds the land on top, putting him back up to 8. Plays the land, and he's going to put the card on the bottom of the library. That's going to reveal a fairly unexciting Satyr Wayfinder here.
Owen has what? A Dig, a Disdainful Stroke,
Crux.
a Crux. Disdainful Stroke's another reason for Reed to not play a Siege Rhino.
Yeah, he just drew a Murderous Cut for the turn. So he does have the answer to that single Den Protector, which is really the only thing that's applying pressure to Owen's life total at this point. I mean, look at Owen has, what, 5 cards in his hand here?
Yeah, and we saw Reed's hand a couple turns ago had 3 land in it.
That's right. We know he's got a Siege Rhino in there now. Bioblight incoming. Though we do note that Reed has a Windswept Heath down there that he can use to shuffle away the Bioblight if he decides that that's not what he wants to draw for the turn. And here's Murderous Cut.
Interesting. Cuts the Courser, not the Den Protector.
And Reed cracks in response. That's going to get him the life gain, but it is going to show Owen Turtenwald what he's got on top of his library as well.
Owen doesn't seem worried about that Den Protector. I mean, he can go to 5, sure. Siege Rhino threatens to send him to 2. He can Disdainful Stroke that, although he'd rather Dig Through Time, I suspect. It's one of those spots where Reed might actually play into the Disdainful Stroke just to prevent Owen from digging.
Yeah, that's interesting because Reed does know about it, and it is pretty important here to try to constrain Owen's mana as much as possible, though I don't know if he's going to be able to do that over the course of the next 2 or 3 turns, since Owen can just afford to play Disdainful Stroke and then just untap and play Dig for 2 mana, leaving himself with 5 or maybe even 6 mana available after that. So Reed is not in a great position here against the control deck of Turnwald. It's really looking to turn the corner. It feels like he did about last turn. And here's Obzon Charm to to draw 2 and lose 2 life. That's going to put Reed Duke all the way down to 6. His life total's lower than Owen's at this point. Even though it felt like Reed has been the aggressor, he has fired off a couple of Thoughtseize, and it's cost him. Owen has been aggressive as well. You see Owen's 2 creatures turn sideways here. Owen out of range of that Siege Rhino, even after taking a hit from Den Protector here, which is going to knock him down to 5. Heath is going to drop Reed and even things up at 5 life apiece. This is a properly close game here. Does feel like Owen has turned the corner, though. Once he fires off this dig through time, it's going to be really tough. And Reed is going to force Owen, though, to use a disdainful stroke here.
Elspeth is the bait, clearing the path for Siege Rhino.
Yeah. I mean, that is an avenue to victory that Reed can see on the table.
Owen is going to cast Dig in his upkeep because he doesn't want to draw Satyr Wayfinder.
It's pretty sweet.
So he'll see Wayfinder plus 6 other cards and then get a clean draw step. Delves away everything except the Deathness Raptor and the Den Protector.
Well, he's found another
dig. A Raptor. Not much. I mean, the Den Protector's pretty good, I guess.
Den Protector, yeah.
Well, it doesn't deal with the enemy Den Protector. Oh. Well, I guess it can block. You can play it, flip, block.
Yeah, that put him down to 2. That also gets your Death Mist Raptor back, which he can use to block if he wants.
That's true. Owen's hand is Crux and... Alright, Den Protector on top. Will be the draw phase. And there's a land. That life is kind of nice.
Ooh.
He's going to draw Ugin next turn.
Hello, friend. Ugin is actually lethal next turn as Reed is now at 2.
Owen needs to survive a turn. Goes for Deathmist Raptor. He says, face up Deathmist Raptor. I have a blocker. If Reed has a removal spell...
This is just close. Yeah.
If Reed can if he can go removal spell into Siege Rhino, he actually wins this game.
Yeah, I think all of his removal spells work here, too. Bile Blight would work. An Ultimate Price, if he's playing that, would work.
Elspeth Minus does not work.
That's true. He can't do that. Also, he'd need a land to be able to cast.
But I mean, he has a land drop available to him.
He does.
All right, here's 1, 2, 3, 4 for Siege Rhino. Owen has a second disdainful stroke.
Okay, well, that takes care of that problem.
Yes, it does.
And that ought to do it.
Yeah.
Owen's going to block just to be sure. Oh, but there's a Thoughtseize from Reed, which is going to kill him.
But give him the information of seeing Owen's hand on the way out.
Yeah, I mean, the most important card was actually on top of his library there. But all right, you get a good laugh between these two friends here. You got to love to see that. As
Sultai Control is victorious.
So let's jump over to our other table here. See what we get.
Craig Wesco's on the left, right? Craig Wesco, the one with the Fleecemane Lion, to the surprise of absolutely no one.
Yeah, that's sort of his invitational card, although unofficial.
Patrick Dickman is on the right of your screen. Up a game. This is game 2.
And Patrick is playing the new deck, I guess.
Oh, this is the same thing we saw Ari Lox trying out?
Yeah, this is kind of his deck. This is Patrick's.
Do we have a good name for this yet?
Jeskai Dragon? What did we call it?
Is it Jeskai Dragons? How many dragons does it have?
He's running Ojutai.
Okay.
That's it.
That doesn't make it a Dragons deck.
No, I didn't say dragons. I said dragon.
Oh, Jeskai
But
Dragon
that's not
singular?
it. That's not the good name. We had a decent name for it. I can't remember what we called it.
Dragon
Lord
Lord
Jeskai? That's pretty sweet. It's also wildly inaccurate. That never stopped a deck name from being sweet. Speaking of, here we go. Dragon Lord Ojutai showed up. Meanwhile, Craig Wesco is grinding with Den Protector here. He got back a Dromica's Command. He's also got an Elspeth in his hand, I believe, which he can use to wipe away Dragon Lord Ojutai. Put a counter on this and my Fleecemane Lion fights your lifelinker. That should put Dickmon up to 5 though, right? Yeah, there he is. Oh, that was not Elspeth. It was a Johnny Steadfast, which actually creates 2 lethal attackers. And that's game.
And makes the Den Protector
wow, it looks
unblockable
like that's actually,
anyway.
Yeah, it looks like that's match.
No, it's 1-1 now.
It said 1-1 when he cast that Planeswalker.
Yep, it was the winning play of game 2. They were
no, it said 1-1 already when he cast the Planeswalker, meaning that would have been the second.
I don't think so. It said 0-1.
It was 0-1. Okay. All right, so we're at 1-1 now. The graphic was wrong.
It said 0-1.
Okay.
The graphic was faster than your brain.
Okay.
The graphic updated it immediately.
I think he might have updated a little bit prematurely. But anyway, I digress. Back over to our main match here. Owen Turtenwald finds himself up a game. And while they were joking around in between the match, it looks like it's all back to business between these two as they shuffle.
Yeah, teammates, playtest partners, friends. But this is a big match.
It is.
And they both need it. Neither one of them has had quite the year they hoped to have. I mean, Owen is still, he's ranked number 5 in the world right now, but that's down from number 1 in the world where he was a couple of months ago.
Now, he is going to be platinum, though.
He's already clinched platinum, and he is extremely likely to safely coast into a Worlds invitation.
Okay.
But so many people have been so efficiently picking up pro points that the line for Worlds is moving up over 50 pro points at this point. And I actually think, I mean, Owen used to be safely on the top North American list. Mm-hmm. Now he's dribbled down into the top at-large list.
Really?
As, you know, Paul Rietzel actually leapfrogged him last weekend.
Okay.
You know, Brad Nelson has picked up a whole bunch of points. There's a lot of pros who've moved up, but Owen's goals, I mean, obviously he wants to play Worlds. He also would love to be the captain of Team USA at the World Magic Cup again.
Again, yeah.
He wants to run back that captaincy.
Oh, he would
and
love that.
If he's going to catch Eric Froelich, he's going to need to put some Grand Prix results together. And it's actually kind of interesting. A lot of people, they get up toward 50 pro points and they already have, you know, half a dozen good GP finishes. Owen's GP finishes have not been that great this year.
Which
They've been
complimentary of his Pro Tour performance, I'm assuming.
Yeah, and he's got some Worlds points, which helps. It's actually remarkable. He keeps going 11-4. To the point where it's become a running joke.
Yes.
The bread and butter finish. He's cashed at 11-4. He's cashed at least 10 Pro Tours this season, and I think it might even be closer to 15. He just keeps showing up. He's incredibly, remarkably consistent. I mean, you go 11-4 at like 10 consecutive Grand Prix.
That's crazy.
It's really hard to do.
Yeah, it's a great
but 11-4 is only worth 1 pro point.
Yeah.
And you only get to count your top 6 results. So he's actually, you know, the funny part, though, is it means that he's still got the ability to really improve his pro point status. Yeah. If he could just get that 12th win or get a top 8, you know, he's got the ability to get up where Eric Froelich is going into the last Pro Tour and be right in the thick of the Player of the Year race.
So as the game has progressed here, we see that Owen Turtenwald started things off with the Thoughtseize, and he took a Reduke the Bones. Put that into the graveyard here, as this does become an attrition fight in many ways.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is control and control.
Now, you were talking about Owen Turtenwald, slightly disappointing year, only platinum, only probably making World
I don't know if it goes all the way to disappointing, because he's going to get the important goal. Platinum is the important goal. And Platinum and Worlds.
Now, what about for Reed, though? Because he's not currently slotted to get
Reed, I would definitely describe his year as disappointing by his own high standards.
Right.
You know, Platinum is really the difference between being able to be a professional Magic player and, you know, have appearance fees that sort of facilitate that lifestyle. Platinum is It's gigantic. It's just it's where you have to be. I mean, and you can be good enough to be platinum and have a down year. Maybe you miss it 1 year, but then it becomes tough. Like,
yes.
can you chase it? Can you spend all of your time playing Magic when you're not platinum? It becomes a tricky question. So we're not there yet. He's still got a couple more Grand Prix and a Pro Tour.
But, speaking to the importance of every match, he finds himself pitted against Owen here. And this is one of those matches.
Yeah.
So Reed had his Den Protector Hero's Downfall on Owen's turn before he had a chance to flip it face up. So no value there. But he does main phase an Obzon Charm to keep those cards flowing. You can see that both players are very concerned about card economy here. They're both doing the play that ensures that their opponent doesn't get advantage.
Yeah, the main phase Hero's Downfall on the face down morph is.
Yes.
Didn't really see that before Den Protector got printed.
Right, followed by the main phase Obzon Charm, which usually you see that when one of the players wants to hit their land drop, and I think that's what Reed was doing there, and he in fact did hit it.
The Deathmist Raptor getting spilled?
It is, yeah. 2 lands and a Deathmist hit the Benin Island, goes in hand for Owen Turtenwald off of the Satyr Wayfinder. So still being productive, perhaps not a high impact turn, but he's got these 2 mana floating, the 2 untapped lands just sitting there, does Owen, and we already saw how important Disdainful Stroke was in the first game of the match. Quite aptly representing it here as well, as Reed Duke hits his 5th land. That was both of them?
Yeah, he drew both of them last game. He's got a 3rd one in the sideboard, which I'm pretty sure is in for this matchup.
So Reed, with a few cards in hand, he's going to have to decide what kind of threat he wants to deploy here. And, yep, it's a card advantage threat. He's going to play yet another Obzon Charm. He's played 2 of these in the game. The Read the Bones was thought seized away by Owen in the early stages. All right. Forward momentum. Satyr Wayfinder hits the red zone. And once again, Owen, interestingly, has left up those 2 mana. Now, this case, it could also just be to flip a Den Protector.
He also just tapped his basics and left up the multi-lands.
Yeah, it's just that he's chosen to leave up 2 lands again here, and I think if you're sitting in Reed Duke's seat, you're aware of those.
He's representing
spells.
Disdainful Stroke for sure.
Exactly. Though it looks like Reed says, you know what, I've had enough.
Call.
Show me. And you know what? He can't. He
Nope.
does get to make a Den Protector here, which is going to get him back the Deathmist Raptor and a Hero's Downfall. So not a bad sequence for 2 mana. Remember, the Den Protector also can attack safely through those tokens if he wants to keep pressuring Reed Duke's life total. I'm assuming he's going to use the Hero's Downfall to take down Elspeth while the shields are down for Reed here.
Yeah, his mana even lets him Courser if he wants to play it that way. Courser into Hero's Downfall.
Yeah, that is what he's doing. Wow, another Den Protector on top of the library, too. And he's still got a land drop in his hand. I think he's got a Llanowar Waste.
I assume that's all at Elspeth?
That is interesting if that's the case. That could let Owen keep the... if everything works out the way he wants to here, it could let him keep the Hero's Downfall in hand. He would be allowing Elspeth, though, to pump out 3 more soldier tokens before.
Well, I believe Owen has a land in his hand.
He does.
So he has the ability to downfall Elspeth, but he doesn't want Reed to know that. He wants Reed to...
Well, Reed knows. He got that Hero's Downfall back off the Den Protector last
He knows
time.
about the Hero's Downfall. He doesn't know about the land.
Oh, about the land, sure. I would assume
It's just the
Reed would
sequencing here
assume
from Owen is deliberate, right? He's holding back this... It probably doesn't matter, but Reed doesn't know for sure if Owen happened to value Courser more.
All right, so the end result there is that one of the soldiers trades for a Satyr Wayfinder, and then Hero's Downfall takes down Elspeth, leaving Reed Duke with just 2 soldier tokens.
Okay, Owen was attacking Reed, not Elspeth there. So
yeah.
That telegraphed the land. Reed all of a sudden down at 7.
Yeah, his life total's falling quite quickly.
This Deathmiss Raptor recursion engine is not one that Reed has access to.
By the way, I just saw a tweet from Brad Nelson. He's 0-2.
Oof.
Start off the day.
With Dragon Lord Jeskai?
Yeah, he says he needs to win 10 in a row to keep the streak alive. So, another copy of Elspeth has arrived, along with Tassiger. Well, Reed Duke's fighting back here.
Yeah, second Elspeth helps a lot.
Yeah, for sure. The problem that I see here, though, is just it feels like Owen eventually gets to play dig-through times.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out those beat up on even Obzon charms pretty well. No one wants that one, though.
I mean, by being Sultai instead of Obzon, Owen gets to have dig-through time, which seems awesome. What he doesn't get to have is Siege Rhino or Obzon charm.
Elspeth,
right?
yeah.
Doesn't get Elspeth.
All right, well, there's a dig-through time. We saw this play before. And he gets one more card. Wow, nothing really great there. It was like Duress Hero's Downfall, I think. Yeah. I guess that's fine. I mean, hitting the downfall is good. I don't know how good Duress is, but Hero's Downfall does seem good here. He is behind Elspeth pretty significantly. Another Den Protector on top. I mean, Owen just needs time here. He's got card advantage just every which way. He's going to have to deal with Tasker at some point here as well.
Do you have any other removal in his hand, or is it just the one downfall that we know of? I assume you got to get rid of Elspeth first.
It does feel like that, doesn't it?
If Reed wants to spend his turn tapping 4 mana for Tassiger, I think you can live with that. Oh, okay. Owen was deciding whether or not to push that Den Protector. Decided, yeah, I've already got one.
I think he just knows that, yeah, his mana is going to be used up pretty cleanly.
Tassiger.
Downfall Tassiger, all right. This does clear the way for
Den Protector gets
to
through,
attack, yeah. Now, Reed Duke's at 7. You know, another thing we have to consider here is, you know, does Owen have the line of ignore Elspeth? It just feels like every time somebody tries that, it ends horribly for them, but it is interesting to consider here.
Oh, is that what Owen did? Yeah, Owen has said, don't care about Elspeth.
Wow.
Attack you. If Reed can't kill that Den Protector, he knows he can't tap a Pain Land either, because it's going to send him to 1 next turn. Takes fetch lanes out of play, takes Pain lanes out of play, Duress, Obzon Charm. If he can kill the Den Protector, though, Elspeth can take over this board.
Absolutely. You know, and you were mentioning a minute ago that since Owen's not playing Obzon, which is what we've kind of grown accustomed to, he doesn't have Siege Rhinos. He doesn't have that reach.
Correct. Wow. Read the bones. Down 2. Does he come up with an answer to Den Protector? One, two, three, 4. Siege Rhino.
That does a nice job if it sticks.
Down to 1 from the pain land, but then back up to 4.
And now has effectively neutralized the Den Protector as well.
Right.
At least as long as that Siege Rhino is sitting there. Wow. That was nice.
Yeah, I mean, he was digging
Getting
for
his
something.
life total up above Den Protector hit range just in case the Siege Rhino dies, and making it so that the Siege Rhino must die before he can take a hit from the Den Protector anyway was a big swing. You know, there might be something to the Siege Rhino card after all. Card's sweet. All right, here comes Death Mist Raptor, which is eating a soldier every turn.
Face down. Pretty sure that's another Den Protector. Two heroes downfalls on a dig through time to choose from. Owen's got up Disdainful Stroke plus flipping his Den Protector. And it seems like Owen can just flip the new Den Protector for hero's downfall, downfall the Rhino, attack with 6 unblockable. That's a tricky line for Reed to deal with.
Owen's at a healthy 16 here.
Courser doesn't really help. Reed shifts the turn. End step. Yep. I have another Den Protector. Now I have this hero's downfall back.
And he's just churning through that top of the library like we've seen so many times.
Oh, he's still got that duress from a long time ago, too?
Oh, he does.
Does.
So now he's just clearing the way. Ultimate price to kill a Den Protector. I'm assuming that the duress is going to brick then after that. Yeah, it's just a land. Huh.
I mean, Owen can still downfall the Rhino, hit with 1 Den Protector, set himself up to win next turn. I guess does Elspeth's ultimate actually cause him issues? Does he have to kill Elspeth?
Yes, for sure. He takes 30 something, he takes 40 whatever, right?
Wow.
And Crux of Fate is what it's going to be from Owen. He's held that Crux for a really long time, and he's decided that now's the time to fire it off. This is just awesome. Now what? Does Reed
well,
ultimate
Owen's got
Elspeth
nothing
on
except
empty
that
board?
Elspeth.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, you can't ultimate onto an empty board. You make 3 guys, right?
I don't know. I'm just asking. He knows about the downfall. Okay. Courser Crewfix is a play for Reed. He can't hit a land with the thing. Is he going to shuffle away this ultimate price? Yeah, it looks like he's going to. You know, he wants to play his temple here. and get a fresh look at some more action than an ultimate price. He also gets another look at a land off the top with the courser. This has been good stuff from these two guys. Hey, hit the same card. It's just happened to be on top of his library. Is that a keeper, Randy?
I think you keep that one, not going to lie.
Wow,
it does run into Disdainful Stroke, but...
All right. So now he gets to make 3 soldiers. He has a courser of Krufix, and an Ugin is going to come up next. Though you got to figure here that Owen's got to have an answer to keep Ugin from hitting. He's already got...
He's holding Disdainful Stroke.
He's holding Stroke right now? Okay.
Yeah.
So he's got that. He's also got an answer for Elspeth in his hand with Hero's Downfall. So it looks like Owen's still in good position here.
He's got answers, but doesn't have a way to win the game, I don't think. At least not yet.
And these answers still leave the courser of Krufix, just generating life and value for Reed as well.
Exactly.
Wow. This has been just awesome. Owen really made that push with the Den Protectors. It didn't work out. Now he's taking a completely different route.
Wow,
with the
spills
Crux
another
of Fate.
Death Raptor.
Jeez.
The next morph creature he draws should win him the game.
That'll get him back 2 Death Raptors. Yeah. Get some Urborg here. And he's going to have to use this Hero's Downfall now to make sure that Elspeth doesn't go ultimate. And then he can Disdainful Stroke Ugin. All right, another land on top for Reduke as well. Okay. Now he doesn't have Den Protect. Excuse me, a Deathness Raptors of his own, so there's not going to be.
Den Protector's plenty good on its own.
Yeah, it turns out just fine. And Owen once again is going to trade off a Satyr Wayfinder for a Soldier token.
Reed trying to figure out if he wants to use his mana and run something into that Disdainful Stroke, or if he wants to try to wait. Yeah, there was no question Disdainful Stroke was coming out if he did tap the 8 for Ugin.
And that's exactly what happened. So Ugin down.
Wow.
And here we go. You know, we mentioned
another
this
dig
on the early stages, and all of a sudden Owen is turning the corner here by casting back-to-back dig through times and really powering out the card advantage here. And you know, it's not just card advantage, it's card selection as well.
Found a Raptor.
Did he find a Den Protector?
I didn't see a Den Protector, but I did see a Raptor, which obviously you can play face down.
Yeah. Good enough.
Right.
Oh,
He just drew Ugin.
he just drew Ugin.
And part of the reason I think Reed was willing to throw his Ugin into that Disdainful Stroke is that he can potentially get it back with his Den Protector and try again. How does Owen play this? He plays for Ugin. Goes down to remove the Courser and the tokens.
Okay, and that's going to leave Reed Duke drawing that Den Protector. He's got 1 card in hand. Still had that Temple in his hand from a few turns ago, but he had hit with that Courser on back-to-back turns, so didn't actually need to play it. He is... Okay, he's going to leave that on top, so that's not good news for Owen Turtenwald either.
plays face down Den Protector. Now, he can flip immediately, and then he'll have 6 mana. He's decided Den Protector for Den Protector. And he can decide what to get with the face down Den Protector at the end of Owen's turn.
This is awesome. They're both decks are in full grind mode, kind of in their own way.
Definitely.
Reed is Den Protectoring up a bunch of card advantage here. Owen Turtenwald's been playing Dig Through Times and would love to find his own Den Protector, though. As you mentioned, I think the face down Raptor's going to do a fine impression here of getting cards back from the graveyard.
It's expensive, though, right? It's an 8 mana play.
It is. Right now, Owen's hand is Crux of Fate, Hero's Downfall, and a Deathless Raptor. Oh, he could Crux here.
Crux is not bad. It kills both the Den Protectors.
Does get those dead. Stops that loop. He's also tick-tocking on Reed Duke's life total here by dropping him down to 4.
All right, so Ugin went to the face.
Yep.
And now here's the face down Deathless Raptor. So he's not going to Crux away the Den Protectors. He's going to block them with Deathless Raptors.
That's right. Owen's at 13, so Reed doesn't really have any plays on his life total. He has to concentrate on Ugin. And Owen's kind of forcing the issue here. Now, what can Reed get back here, though? He could get back
Ugin, Elspeth, Siege Rhino.
He's got some great stuff.
Tassiger.
I think Read the Bones is on his list here, as he's already got his
Reed
premium
land
stuff.
Seem like they're a cut below the others.
Get back Ugin. Just go big. Now he knows that those Deathmist Raptors are coming back either way.
Okay. I was going to say all of Owen's permanents are colorless, but by attacking, Reed is basically saying, hey, Owen,
why
don't
some
you bring
green
some
permanents.
Deathless Raptors?
Okay, trigger.
But Owen has to decide whether he wants these face up or face down.
That's interesting.
He could actually go face down to defend against the Ugin. Does make them a lot worse at blocking, though.
He's going to leave them face up, all of them.
All right, well, the fact that these are trades means, well, it's one trade.
Yeah, one of the Raptors actually gobbles up a Den Protector there.
Interesting. Yeah, this sets Ugin up to remove 2 of them. I mean, to exile them in particular.
Yeah, you're thinking that Owen maybe should have had one of them face down.
He could have brought one of them face down, and then it would be surviving Ugin rather than getting exiled.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, once your Raptors start getting exiled, it gets a little sketchy. But as we see, it might not matter here, as Owen Turtenwald has got Reed Duke down to 1 life, up a game, 1 draw step, and that's going to do it. Owen Turtenwald defeats Reed Duke 2-0 in the feature match area here. That was a fun match to watch.
Yeah, it seems like both decks got to do their grindy thing, like you said, and the deck with Dig Through Time is just better at it.
Yeah, it's like one of them has Den Protector. One of them has Den Protector and Dig Through Time.
And Deathmist Raptor.
And Raptors, too. So.
Yeah, Owen is just better at the grindy late game.
Yeah.
I think that's what you get for Sultai. You lose some of that mid-range sort of Siege Rhino.
Hey there, welcome back to the booth. There's no earthquake here. Don't worry, that was just Rich was picking up the camera. What we're actually going to do is we're going to try to grab Owen to have a chat here